principle of Maqasid al-Sharia, objectives of Islamic law, which emphasize the preservation of life, property, and the environment, and encourages risk-sharing, inclusivity, and sustainability. So it's a wonderful product that is available at home. Let's just not look at the global north and keep worrying about what has to come. We can't ignore that either. We need that money too. But we can get going with our own sukuk. So Islamic climate finance examples are available. They were echoed earlier by some of the speakers, and let me just tell you, the green sukuk in Malaysia, they were the first ones perhaps who got into it, and there's a great example to learn from them. So Malaysia is a pioneer in green sukuk issuance. The Tadao Energy's Green Sukuk 2017 raised about $58 million to finance a large-scale solar project that they set up. It demonstrates the use of sukuk for renewable energy projects that help mitigate climate change, something we want to do at home. We need it. Indonesia's Green Sukuk, the Republic of Indonesia has issued multiple green sukuk, both domestic and global, to finance renewable energy, sustainable transportation, waste management, and adaptation projects. An example is a $1.25 billion green sukuk issuance in 2021, used partially for mangrove rehabilitation to address rising sea levels. And mangrove is an issue very close to you in Karachi. Indonesia's experience shows how sovereign sukuk can support climate adaptation and resilience. Middle East examples are UAE and Saudi Arabia. The first Abu Dhabi bank issued a green sukuk for solar power in UAE. Saudi Arabia's ACWA Power used sukuk to finance renewable energy projects. The Islamic Development Bank Green Sukuk, $1.5 billion green sukuk was issued by them, and proceeds were allocated to projects that included renewable energy and disaster resilience. So it is not something that we are building for the first time. We have examples in the Islamic countries. We just need to see our own country, which has listed the areas for adaptation. We just need to get into those, create projects through sukuk and attempt and get into that. So accessing sukuk is, and this is important, because accessing global funds is difficult. Accessing sukuk is generally easier and faster than securing funding from global green funds due to streamlined and flexible nature of the sukuk issuance process. That is important.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे, आपने मुलाहिजा किया। कराची में सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। उन्होंने कहा कि 16 जनवरी को केस दोबारा पुराने बेंच में लगाने का हुक्म भी दिया गया था, और इसके साथ साथ उन्होंने आइनी बेंच के हवाले से जो गुफ्तगू कर रहे थे, और उन्होंने कहा कि हमारी अदालतों का जो निज़ाम है उसको बेहतर मज़ीद करेंगे और कोशिश करेंगे कि सही मानों में इंसाफ फ़राहम किया जा सके आवाम को, और यही अदालत का काम है कि इंसाफ लोगों को फ़राहम किया जाए।
Disruptions and unstable regulatory environments, which actually prohibits investment and long-term planning and predictability for, say, renewable energy investments, which are so necessary and so entirely possible and viable with given our green resources. Now, I'm not going to stand here and hector you that you all need to invest in green energy or renewable energy. You're all thinking about that anyway for your own plans, but you're not all in the business of energy. Yet without that, you would have no business. So we do have to think about energy and how we can shift to renewability in say a 10-year context, or look at mid-century. Now, if you're looking at mid-century, as we can see today, international businesses are pulling out, at least the big banks are pulling out of net zero alliances. The picture is not pretty. They're pulling out of net zero sustainability alliances. Here in Pakistan, the banking sector won't really do that because, well, they end up being fund managers and for the government. And at the end of the day, you are looking at a situation where there is still globally no acceptability of a linearity and pathway to sustainability, either by businesses or governments. And at the end of the day, Pakistani businesses and Pakistani people have to realize that, hey, no one's coming for you. No one's coming to, when I say coming for you, I mean no one is coming to pick up your pieces beyond a point. The age of the compassionate humanitarian multilateral order has passed. For now, we are living in a very fragmented, chaotic world. And what strategic investments must you make in the future in your businesses, in your people, and in your profits? How do you strike that triple balance is something that really I would like this council to spend more time roundtabling and developing a knowledge base about. And I know it's a tall order, but I think this is what we need to do. Now, Pakistan is talking about circularity. Many of your businesses are also talking about it and actually seeking to move into an economy that is circular, that's sustainable, but only the big businesses are. Let's see the percentages, they're huge. And you have companies like Engro and Unilever, very high profile companies with deep pockets, able to set up their sustainability metrics. I'm not going to barrage you with data, but there they are. They are still big emitters. They continue to be big emitters, but they try to offset that with best green practices, as we call them. And when we do that, we see that these companies are actually not able to move beyond a point. They remain plateaued in their sustainability ventures. They may disagree, but I think that many are not able to actually disclose. I mean, reporting is an issue we all need to talk about and incentivize. Because without incentives, businesses don't do anything. I'm really done with the moral imperative to businesses. That's not how they make transformational, cyclical shifts. Businesses, people in the business of markets and profits will only make that with incentives or as a guardrail or hedge against a very uncertain and unpredictable future. So unpredictability is absolutely the new normal. Global heating, 2.5 degrees centigrade, difference not 1.5 is absolutely expected. And I'm doing a set of predictions for 2047 for someone else, and in that we're looking at a very, very grey Pakistan, if we are very clear. And in that graying, you have to look at the air, the quality of your air and the quality of your water. If you really boil it down, obviously your soil, your agriculture, but your quality of water and air are being hugely impacted by the non-circularity and non-sustainability of business practices. Yes, it is consumers. We are addicted to consumption. That's the entire 20th century. That's what they taught us. That you can't be wealthy without energy, and that meant fossil fuels, and that a country can't be wealthy even today without energy. Sustainable, low-cost energy. And that's always dirty fuel. That's still the base load today, right? And so, what is the 21st century going to teach us, and what are we going to teach it? How are we going to define it? Let's not wait for the United Nations to tell us where we need to stand or somebody else. We are on our own, ladies and gentlemen, including your businesses. I'm grateful for multilateral cooperation when it surfaces in any form or shape, or even bilateral, but do not expect it anymore as a standard practice, which I see in, at least in government environments, I see a lot of expectation that, well, so-and-so will come and fix this for us. No one's coming to fix it for you. The one thing you've got to do, other than, of course, looking at how you're polluting the air and water with either plastics, with emissions from tanneries, nobody's talking about those. Those are huge for the water, from Kasur to Karachi. and obviously the plastics infiltration into our lives, which is going to cripple our waterways and going to cripple public health in ways that now you see air pollution doing, especially in Punjab in winter. And these are all year now, these are all year realities. So it's not just a winter season, the impacts on your throat, on your cardiovascular health, on just how you live and breathe is impacted by your business practices and our consumption behavior. We are all still looking at consumption as an end goal that must not be challenged. And obviously businesses need to project that. So instead of telling you what is normally said, you've got to create your own, how do you sort of make your your supply chains less dirty, all of that is something you know about. All of that is something